The minority?
Mr. Speaker, Aliyu Sani Madaki is my name, and I represent the La Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion as moved. I do second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. So we go to the sixth order of the day, which is consideration of report of the Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 288 billion only, of which the sum of 31 billion 100 million naira only is for overhead costs, while the sum of 256 billion 900 million naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory Administration for the financial year ending 31st December 2024. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Thursday, 26 September 2024. Honorable Aliu Mukhtar Betera will move for its consideration.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Mukhtar Betera Aliu. I represent the good people of Biu Bayo Kwayekusa Shani. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, that this House do consider the report of Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 288 billion naira, of which the sum of 31 billion 100 million is for overhead costs, while the sum of 256 billion 900 million is for capital projects, of which the Federal Capital Territory Administration Abuja for the financial year 31st December 2024. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is the deputy chairman around of the committee? No?
Yeah, I'm around here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Are you the deputy chairman?
Yes, sir.
Eh? When did you assume that role?
Thank you.
Anyway, by the grace of the House, we allow you to second.
By His grace, sir.
I know for obvious reasons why you want to second that one. Eh?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Emeka Chinedu. I represent the good people of Ahia Zumbi in the Federal Constituency and from Imo State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my chairman. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The acting leader, can you move that the House resolve to the Committee of Supply?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Olumide Oshobar, representing Abeokuta North, Obafemi Ode, and other federal constituency. I so move that the committee accept these reports and revert back. I so move. Thank you.
The minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sani Madaki is my name, and I represent the La Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion as moved by the acting House leader. I do second.
You don't want to make him substantive. You shouldn't have even mentioned acting. Eh? Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House resolved through the Committee of Supply. Honorable members, please be guided that this is in the order paper if you want to go through. Everything about the budget is there for you to go through. The report to be considered is that of the Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 288 billion only, of which the sum of 31 billion naira, 100 million naira only is for overhead cost, while the sum of 256 billion, 900 million naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory Administration for the financial year ending 31st December 2024. I now invite Honorable Aliyu Mukhtar Betera, the chairman, to give a synopsis of the report, please.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, you may recall that this bill was referred to our committee yesterday, the 24th of September 2024, where the committee sat with the officials of the Federal Capital Territory and we discussed the issues. After our discussion, the Honorable Speaker, we looked at the supplementary budget, which stated that the requirement from the FCT is just an augmentation to 2024 statutory, where we sat with the Senate committee equally. We harmonized our report, and we are presenting it to the House today for consideration. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chair. So, honorable colleagues, without any waste of time, we go straight into the report. It has 5 schedules. We just go schedule by schedule, close by close, to approve. The first one is Committee on Federal Capital, Clause 1, which is issuance of 288 billion from Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund. Carried. The second clause is that of release of funds. Carried. The third clause is payment of revenue into the statutory account. Carried. The fourth one is waiver not to incur expenditure. Carried. 5, short title. Carried. Schedule. Carried. Long title. Thank you very much. Acting Leader,
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable members, I move that the House do revert to plenary.
Minority Leader, can you second, please?
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion that we do revert back to plenary as moved by the acting House Leader. I do second.
Thank you. House resolved to plenary. It's my pleasure to report that the House in Committee of Supply considered the report of the Committee of Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 288 billion naira only, of which the sum of 31 billion 100 million naira only is for overhead cost, while the sum of 256 billion 900 million naira only is for capital projects. For the service of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, Abuja, for the financial year ending 31st December 2024. And in so doing, we approved clauses 1 to 5, the schedule and the long title of the bill. Leader, can you move for the adoption of the report?
Thank you, Speaker, honorable members. I move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee on Supply. Thank you.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleague, I stand to second the motion that we adopt the report as presented.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Acting Leader, can you also move for the House to suspend its relevant rules for us to take the third reading of this bill?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I move that we suspend the relevant rules and take the third reading of this bill. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleague, I stand to second the motion as moved. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, please, can you read the long title, please?
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account, the total sum of 288 billion naira only, of which the sum of 31 billion 100 million only is for overhead cost, while the sum of 256 billion 900 million naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory Administration Abuja for the financial year ending 31st December 2024. Third reading.
Bill read for the third time and passed. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Chartered Institute of Business Educators of Nigeria, charges with responsibilities of advancing the study, training, and practice of business educators of Nigeria and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Moshood Olaruwaju Oshun, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 14 February 2024. I now invite Honorable Oshun to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable members, good afternoon. My name is Moshood Olanrewaju Oshun. I represent the wonderful people of Lagos Mainland Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, distinguished members, I stand to move that a bill for an act to provide for establishment of Chartered Institute of Business Educators of Nigeria, CIBEN, charges with responsibility of advancing the study, training, and practice of business educators of Nigeria, and for related matters, should be read the second time. I so move. Thank you.
Any seconder? If the seconder is coming from Lagos, let him not be from the rural part, from the real urban. Hey, I'll see my brother down there. Please, go ahead. I recognize Surulere being the center of gravity of Lagos. But since you opted to, I will cede that to you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Kalejaya Adeboye Paul, PhD. I represent the good people of Ajero Mifeldu Federal Constituency, the mini Nigeria. It's my pleasure to second the second reading of the bill moved by my dear brother and colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Since this bill is an infrastructural establishment bill, I don't think we need to go into debate. Everything is straightforward on this bill, so we just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This bill is referred to, the clerk, please, to read the long title.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act provide for establishment of Chartered Institute of Business Educators of Nigeria and charge it with responsibility of advancing the study, training, and practice of business educators in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Commerce for further legislative action. The second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to create a new state in the southern eastern region of Nigeria, known as Aba State, and for related matters, standing in the names of Honorable Ginger Osibe and 3 other honorable members. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 11 July 2024. I now invite Honorable Ginger to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. My name is Ginger Obinna Onwusibe. I represent the people of Isialangwa North, Isialangwa South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am an Ungwa man from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, I seek your permission to invite one of the sponsors of this bill to lead this debate, Honorable Chris Nkwanta.
We have not seconded first. What are you inviting him for?
Mr. Speaker, I seek your permission for him to lead the debate.
The debate has not commenced until we seek the approval of the House.
Okay, sir.
So you just move. We get a seconder first.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House allow the second reading of the alteration of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to allow the creation of Aba State and other related matters. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Honorable Kelechi.
The right, the Honorable Speaker, the best speaker this House of Reps has ever produced. My name is Honorable Kelechi Nwogu. I'm from Rivers State. I represent the people of Echie, Omuma constituency. I rise to second the motion moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Because of time constraints, are there dissenting voices to this particular bill? Is there any member who is opposed to it? We are all in agreement, so we put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to alter the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to create a new state in the southeastern region of Nigeria known as Aba State and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Constitutional Review for further legislative action. The third order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate gross inefficiency of the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIA, for improved services delivery to Nigerians, standing in the name of Honorable Kwamoti Beatrice Laori. Honorable Laori is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, distinguished Honorable Speaker, honorable members. I speak for the people of Jamsa Numa Lamude Federal Constituency. My name is Kwamoti Beatrice Laori. Mr. Speaker, the House notes that the National Health Insurance Act 2022, which replaced the National Health Insurance Scheme Act, seeks to promote, regulate, and integrate health insurance schemes, secure mandatory health insurance for every Nigerian and legal resident, and establish a fund for subsidy of health insurance coverage for vulnerable persons and payment of health insurance premium for indigents. Also notes that since the passage of the National Health Insurance Act, the scheme has enjoyed the cooperation of the National Assembly in terms of annual budgetary allocations for it to perform optimally in delivering its mandate to Nigerians, with the primary objective to ensure affordability of health care for all, especially the poorest and most vulnerable Nigerians. Concerned that enrollees in urban and semi-urban settlements have received extremely poor services from health maintenance organizations, HMOs, both private and public health facilities, which is distressing given the harsh reality that Nigerians are faced with removal of fuel subsidy and other economic policies of the government. Also concerned that the attitude of medical personnel and healthcare service providers treats enrollees' patients as trash, subjecting Nigerians to unnecessary delay with the aim of frustrating patients from accessing services, while the HMOs smile to bank monthly for services poorly rendered, a situation many Nigerians describe as dehumanizing and fraudulent. Aware that most enrollees have recently chosen to pay in full for medical services in establishments other than HMO they subscribe to, in order to avoid needless stress and harassment that characterize the enrollee patients like beggars, devoid of human dignity and respect. Further concern that the scenario further undermine Nigerian trust in the program if left unchecked, and considering how crucial a healthy population is to the country's productivity, the purportedly demonizing treatment of enrollees and the regular out of stock or shortage of necessary medications and consumables in the majority of HMOs requires an urgent investigation. Worried that wherever possible, the enrolled patients are made to purchase out-of-stock drugs and consumables outside. They often do so without a refund or any form of compensation from the HMOs, which raises questions about the integrity of the scheme. Also worried about the growing allegation of abysmal service expressed by Nigerians with different unpleasant accounts of frustrations and dehumanized treatment in various HMOs across the nation. Recognizes that unchecked behavior of this kind would amount to fraud and gross disservice to the Nigerian citizens on whose behalf the government is funding the program, as well as further eroding the citizens' faith in the current administration's Renew Hope agenda. The House do resolve, 1, to mandate the Committee on Healthcare Services to investigate the cause of this alleged gross inefficiency of the National Health Insurance Scheme and recommend ways the scheme can be made to function more efficiently and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Secondly, to mandate the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Anka.
Thank you, able Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Isa Muhammad Anka. representing Anka Talatam of our constituency. I stand here to support the motion raised by my chairman, Honorable Komoti, and I so second. Thank you very much.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the committees on healthcare services and legislative compliance for further legislative action. The fourth order of the day is a motion on a call to commence academic activities at Federal University of Maritime Studies, Oron, Akwa Ibom State, standing in the name of Honorable Martin Essin. Honorable Martin is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. Respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Martin Essin. I represent the hardworking people of Oron, Mbu, Okobo, Udumuko, Refon Orugu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Akwa Ibom State. I rise to move a motion to call for the commencement of academic activities at the University of Maritime Studies, Oron, Akwa Ibom State. The House notes that the legislative framework, which upgraded the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron, to the University of Maritime Studies, Oron, was assented to by the former President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, in 2023. The House also notes that the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron, was established by the federal government of Nigeria with well-equipped structures on ground to function as a base for specialized maritime education. The House is aware that employers in the maritime field place a high value on maritime course graduates, which improves their chances of gainful employment and access to the wider maritime operations. Convinced that the establishment of the University of Maritime Studies, Oron, will afford the students the opportunity to specialize in international shipping, marine transport, marine security, among other related fields, since the maritime industry is at the forefront of international trade. Worried that since its approval, the University of Maritime Studies is yet to commence academic activities. Also worried that economic and commercial activities across communities in Oron, Mbu, Okobo, Udunko, Urefon Orugu Federal Constituency, which should receive a boost following the presence of a functional maritime university, have been stalled. The House resolves to 1. Invite the Honorable Minister of Education and the Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund to brief the Committee on University Education on the delay in the commencement of academic activities in the University of Maritime Studies, Oron, Akwa Ibom State. Also urge the Federal Ministry of Education, the Nigeria Universities Commission, and the Tertiary Education Trust Fund to set out modalities for the commencement of academic activities at the University of Maritime Studies, Oron, and mandate the committees on university education, TET fund, and legislative compliance to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
Any seconder? I have seen my sister. Honorable Kafilat, can you second this motion?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, I rise for and on behalf of my people in Koshofe Federal Constituency to second this motion, ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to committees on university education, TET fund, and legislative compliance for further legislative action. The fifth order of the day is a motion on a need to implement safety measures against gully erosion menace in Nigeria, standing in the name of Honorable Kolawole Davidson Akilayo. Honorable Akilayo is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, the Agba King of Executive, and distinguished colleagues. My name is Kolaole Davidson Akinlayo, member representing Ido-Osi Momba, Ileje-Meje Federal Constituency. I am from the Fountain of Knowledge, Ekiti State. And my motion has to do with the needs to implement safety measures against gully erosion menace in Nigeria. The House knows that the Section 14(2)(b) of the Constitution of Nigeria, Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, that the security, safety, and welfare of the people of Nigeria shall be the primary purpose of governance. House also notes that the ravaging effect of coastal erosion across the country has posed a significant threat to the security and livelihood of many communities, highlighting the urgent need for government intervention as a sustainable solution to protect the citizens and their environment. They are also aware that the preservation, restoration, maintenance of the ecological environment in local communities in Momba, Ileje-Meje, and Ido-Osi Federal Constituency State is crucial for safe movement of goods and services. Also aware that the erosion tragedy could lead to the collapse of the entire rural agricultural economy in vital food production regions. There are also concerns that the threat of gully erosion and devastating consequences on the livelihood and safety of the indigenous people and residents of the country. In addition, the problem of gully erosion has flooded a lot of structures, churches, farms, places of worship, schools, and football fields, and the road are in deplorable state. Also concerned that the issue of gully erosion poses a significant threat to the indigenous people of the community, causing a flood of various structures, further complicating the financial security of the people and displaced residents. Further concerned that if quick action is not taken to avert the disaster, the consequences of severe flooding at the height of rainy season could spark a looming danger and ultimately result in the death of well-meaning Nigerians due to erosions. As a result of reclamation and soil protection measures must be put in place to address the threat to community that could otherwise disappear. The House will resolve all the Federal Ministry of Works, Federal Roads, Emergency Maintenance Agency, FEMA, and the Ecological Fund Office to urgently fund the construction of a new route that will link affected communities to each state across Nigeria. The House also urged National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to ensure the resettlement of displaced residents in affected areas and provide relief materials. They also further urge the Ecological Fund Office and NEMA to jointly agree and engage relevant experts to implement measures such as slope stabilization, gabion installation, terracing, revegetation, and construction of losses and minimize the risk to nearby infrastructure and communities. The House mandated the Committee on Environment to conduct tour of the affected communities to assess the damage and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, sir, Mr. Speaker.
Any second, Honorable Fage?
Yeah, you did. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Barrister Muhammad Bello Shehu, representing the people of Fage Federal Constituency. I rise this afternoon to support the motion as ably moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Environment and Ecological Fund for further legislative action. The seventh order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Dengi, Kanam, Plateau State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Wednesday, 27th July 2023. The leader will move for its consideration.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, Olumide Oshoba representing Abeokuta North, Obafemi and other federal constituency, I move that the Committee of the Whole considers the report. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleague, I stand to second the motion as ably moved. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, can you move that the House resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider this report?
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I move that the House resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider this report. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion that we dissolve into Committee of the Whole to consider the report. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House hereby resolved into the Committee of the Whole. Thank you. Sponsor will be the best. Honorable colleagues, this bill to be considered is for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Dengi, Kanam, Plateau State, to provide for full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. I invite the sponsor of this bill, Honorable Gadi, to give a short synopsis of the bill.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I am Yusuf Adamu Gagdi. I represent Panshinkanki Kanam Federal Constituency. I am from Plateau State. Mr. Chairman, this is a straightforward bill. It was passed by the 9th Assembly. That is the most important thing. So the report we are considering today, it is a report that was embedded by the 9th Assembly, but due to the lateness of the sending of the bill to Mr. President, it could not receive the assent and the blessing of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In view of this, Mr. Chairman, it is not a bill that will seek to add more big financial straits to government, as the existing Federal College of Education, Panjshir, have been upgraded to the status of Federal University of Education, and Mr. President have directed and have soon commenced as a federal university. In view of that, the bill seeks to relocate the former Federal College of Education, Panjshir, to now to be established Federal College of Education, Dengi Kanam. It has its own provision there. Members can kindly see the provision of the report where we have the recommendations that was made to the 9th Assembly, which was all retained. I beseech my colleagues to support me and to support this House in ensuring that this bill pass in the Committee of the Whole. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Without any waste of time, honorable colleagues, we go through the bill, which has 1 to 23 clauses, explanatory memorandum, the schedule, and the long title. We go one after the other. Clause 1, Clause 2, Clause 3, Clause 4, Clause 5, Clause 6, Clause 7, Clause 8, Clause 9, Clause 10, Clause 11, Clause 12, Clause 13, Clause 14, Clause 15, Clause 16, Clause 17, Clause 18, Clause 19, Clause 20, Clause 21, Clause 22, Clause 23, explanatory memorandum, the schedule, long title of the bill. Thank you very much. Leader.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I hereby move that we revert to plenary. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion that the House do revert back to plenary. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House resolve back to plenary to report progress. Honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to announce the report of the Committee of the Whole, which considered the report on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Dengi, Kanan, Plateau State, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied science, arts, social sciences, humanities, and management, and for related matters. And in so doing, approve clauses 1 to 23, explanatory memorandum, the schedule, and the long title of the bill. Leader, can you move for the adoption of this report?
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole. Thank you.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion that we adopt the report as presented. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much. Leader, can you move forward? Oh, sorry, we have some announcements. As I said earlier, the Joint Committee to investigate oil, Dangote NNPC oil issues, it's my pleasure to announce the list of members who will join the Senate ad hoc committee as well to jointly investigate this matter as follows. Honorable Professor Julius Ohevere will be the chairman of the committee from the House. Honorable Fatima Talba, member. Honorable Igariwe Oduma, member. Honorable Sani Igidi, member. Honorable Sadi Soli, member. Honorable Bappa Aliu Misau, member. Honorable Dr. Patrick Umo, member. Honorable Kalija A. Paul, member. Honorable Obi Ogocha, member. Honorable Boyga Isiaka, member. Honorable Amos Daniel, member. Honorable Bello Shehu, Honorable Mohammed Bello Shehu, member. Honorable Kelechi Nwogu, member. Honorable Aki Rotimi, junior member. We expect that the committee will be inaugurated next week. Membership of the Conference Committee on Anti-Doping Bill. It's my pleasure to announce the following members. Honorable Mohammed Buba Jajere to chair. Honorable Adedayo Adeshola Samuel. Honorable Mweke Felix Uche. Honorable Aliyu Bapa Misau. Honorable Fainka Moses Olatoin. Honorable Mukhtar Zakari Chawe as members. We have some announcements. The first coming from Rep. Akintunde Rotimi Jr., and it is in respect of the notification of the person of Oba Gabriel Oso Adeneye Obala of Ejesa Isu, and the message reads as follows. I write with a heavy heart to formally notify Your Excellency, and by extension the House of Representatives, of the person of His Royal Majesty Oba Gabriel Oso Adeneye, the Obala of Ejesu Isu Ekiti State. Kabesi's passing is a significant loss to the people of Ekiti State, particularly to the Ejesa Isu and Ikoli local government area. His reign was marked by dedication to the progress and development of his community, and he exemplified a life of selflessness, humility, and wisdom. Oba Gabriel Oso Adeneye was not just a traditional ruler, he was a father figure, a mentor, and a symbol of peace and unity. His legacy of leadership, deeply rooted in service to his people, will be remembered for generations. The people of Ekiti North 1, Ikole/Oye Federal Constituency, joined the royal family and the entire Ekiti State in mourning these great loss. As we grieve, we also take solace in the impactful life of Kabesi, lived and the values he represented. I respectfully bring this to your attention and kindly request the House observes a moment of silence in honor of the dear departed monarch. Thank you for your understanding and consideration. You are sincerely signed, Rep. Aki Rotimi, Member, House of Representatives, representing Ekiti North 1, Ikole Oye Federal Constituency. Again, we have on a side note another announcement, this time on the death of a dear brother from Honorable Abedi Frederick, member representing Shagbama Ekeremo Federal Constituency of Bayelsa State, who is also the chairman House Committee on FCT Area Councils. And his message reads as follows. It is with gratitude to the Almighty God I wish to announce the death of my immediate elder brother, who is of the same biological parents with me, Chief Alex Edupomon Abedi Tuweze, who died on the 15th of August 2024. He was 66 years old. He was a retired teacher, an accomplished businessman, and a respected community leader until his death. He was the Tokempa of Agoro the second, Angolo Iba community in Ikiremo local government area of Bayelsa. While I mourn the demise of my brother, I pray God to forgive him his shortcomings and grant him eternal rest. I therefore urge the House to observe a minute silence in honor of my beloved departed brother. Signed, Honorable Chief Abedi Yetimon Frederick, PhD. And honorable colleagues, if you could recall, we were also requested to observe a minute silence in respect of the death of the Emir of Kobir by the member representing him, Honorable Bargaja. So we combine the three together to observe a minute silence. Please, shall we rise? May their soul rest in peace. Leader of the House, please can you move for the adoption of the proceedings of today to enable us transmit to Mr. President the approval for the budget of FCT.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I move for the adoption of the report of the FCT to be sent to the President. I so move. Thank you.
Leader of the minority? Leader of the minority, can you please second the adoption of the votes and proceedings of today's deliberation?
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleague, I stand to adopt the motion that we adopt the vote and proceedings of today. I do second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Sorry, honorable colleagues, there is one omission of Honorable Pascal, is also a member of the ADO committee. A big omission, please. Secretariat, please kindly reflect his name accordingly. Leader, please can you move for the adjournment of the House to Tuesday next week? Tuesday, public holiday? Oh, Wednesday. Okay, please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I move for the adjournment of this House to the 2nd of October 2024 at 11 a.m. I so move.
Minority Leader, please can you second?
Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion that the House do adjourn to 2nd October 2024 at 11 p.m. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House adjourned to Wednesday, 2nd October 2024, 11 a.m. Thank you very much.
And I was asking him, is there anyone I've forgotten?